name of the crowd of the trophies? What's the name of the crowd of the trophies? Should be able to see it here. Good to go. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome one and all to O'Loughlin Gaels GAA Club here. As you can see, we are now live on the scoreline.ie channels, of course, thanks to KCLR here this evening. And I'm joined, as always, by my co-commentator, Anya Fahy. How are you this evening?
I'm good, thanks, Martin. How are you?
Stressed.
You look at it all.
It's been a very stressful day, I can tell you that much. Thanks to Ken and Eddie for pulling it all out of the bag here for us this evening. But let's begin. Championship 2023. It started a bit late, the split season. We might even get a couple of players, even their thoughts on the split season to see how it's going. But it was a good season overall.
Yeah, definitely. I think the quality of camogie that we certainly was on display this year was excellent. I think every year we're getting a lot stronger throughout our club campaign, and I think we're seeing an awful lot of really good talent coming through, especially, you know, some of the younger players coming through the ranks there now over the last couple of years. I suppose all the teams that won their county finals this year avenged the heartbreak that they had last year with, you know, John Locke's Bridge winning the junior. We all remember that county final last year in Freshford when Carrickshock just pipped them at the post. But listen, they came back this year and they really went out in style the way they did it. You had to look at Rower Steig, the heartbreak they had from last year, went on this year, capitalised on it. And of course, Dixper, you know, getting beaten last year by Thomastown and going on to win it then this year. And then going on to make history, winning a Leinster club title, and, you know, tomorrow, who knows where it's going to end for them, and an All-Ireland Senior Club Championship, which I guarantee you every player in this room would love to be a chance to play in.
They certainly are. We'll talk about that in a minute. If you look at the trends going back the last 3 or 4 years, it's unbelievable that if you play a county final the previous year, the runners-up, nearly, it has been proven in the last 4 years, have went on to win the final the following year. And that's been the trend at not only senior and intermediate, but junior, intermediate and senior as well.
Yeah, I don't think any club managers would like you saying that. But yeah, like, it certainly is proven to be a bit of a trend, like we've seen it the last couple of years throughout all the grades. And I suppose maybe that's a bit of hope that teams will kind of hold on to for next year as well, that they know that they're good enough to get into that position and they can just go that one step further. You know, an awful lot of people say you have to lose one to win one, and that has certainly proved in the Kilkenny Championship over the last couple of years. But, you know, you have to say that it has been really, really competitive throughout all the grades this year. And we've seen some fantastic games, and we've seen games where literally it has gone down to the wire in it, which is excellent. And I certainly think the standard of camogie in Kilkenny, we are seeing year on year that it is rising, and I think that goes to show, like, the vast range of players from all different clubs that we're actually starting to see now that are coming into our, not just our intermediate and our senior inter-county panels, but along our minor county panels and our under-16s as well. It's really, really good. I think we're in a really, really good place, and hopefully, listen, 2024 is just going to be another step in the ladder to just keep succeeding.
Well, it certainly is. Kilkenny has new management as well. There's a lot of them that's actually training this evening as well, so we hope to have him here a little bit shortly, or a little bit soon, I should say. New man in charge this year. He's been at all the matches, the best as he can go to anyway, that the time was there. A lot of talent on show, and a lot of people still eligible to be picked that are not there at the minute, and a lot of players putting up their hands to say, well, I'm here, I want to be picked for the county team.
Yeah, I think with a new manager, I suppose it kind of gives girls an opportunity that maybe haven't been in on the inter-county scene over the last couple of years. It gives them an opportunity to put their hand up, as you said, and it's kind of this attitude now where it's a clean slate. Just because you've been there the last 3 or 4 years doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be in there. And I do believe there is a lot of new players that are after going into the fold there as well, which is really good to see, because, you know, we have to breed in new talent. We have to keep the conveyor belt going constantly, and I think that's, you know, I think that's probably a good thing to see, a brand new management coming in here. Now, don't get me wrong, what Brian Dowling has done over the last couple of years for Kilkenny Camogie has been, without a doubt, absolutely brilliant. He's brought Kilkenny Camogie to heights that we haven't seen for a very, very long time, and I suppose he's kind of set that standard. And I suppose any manager coming in after him, like, yeah, okay, they are going to be compared. Listen, let's call a spade a spade. We've all compared Derek Link to Brian Cody when he first came in charge.
And it's still happening.
And it is still happening. And I suppose for the first year, like, Chap is probably going to be compared to Brian. But I think what he needs to realise, and I'm sure he does, like, this is his baby now. He's starting afresh. He's going to do things his way. He's going to set his own standard. And I think everybody in the Kilkenny Camogie community needs to row in behind him and support him on that as well.
Well, they certainly do. We have a lot of Dixborough faces in the crowd here. It's a big night for them. It's a big day for them tomorrow. Loughlin Shamrocks in the All-Ireland Senior Semi-Final. They're the first Kilkenny team to get there since Thomastown actually played Loughlin a couple of years ago as well. And they're on course to be the first team to get to an All-Ireland final for the first time since Freshford did in the late 90s, early 90s.
Yeah, it was an achievement in itself to win a Leinster final, and I'm sure the Dixborough crowd will recognise that as well. But tomorrow's another huge stepping stone, and I think anybody that has the unfortunate pleasure of having to play Dixborough over the last couple of years will know how good they are. They are a really, really good team, very, very well structured. And tomorrow, as you said, it's another huge test for them, but it's another big, massive opportunity for them to create history, not just for like the Camogie club, but for Dixborough GAA club as well. I think it's the first time in the club's history, male and female, in a club All-Ireland semi-final, which is a huge accolade. Like, for the size of the club of Dixborough, how successful it has been, it's a huge day for them tomorrow, and the very best of luck to everybody involved.
It certainly is, and obviously we're in the home of the Kilkenny hurling champions as well at the minute, O'Loughlin Gaels. They are playing tomorrow as well in the Leinster final, and we certainly wish them and all the team the very best of luck in it. It would be great if they could get to their All-Ireland semi-final, and we could have Dixborough in an All-Ireland Camogie final. Yeah, great weekend, so to it.
We'll concentrate on the Camogie, because
we
that's what
certainly will. That's what we're here for. Are we all well? Jesus, that was terrible. Are we all well? Yeah. We are. Well, we are here this evening because this is the Camán Caint podcast with myself and Anya Fahy. Now, people have been questioning to know who the spies are, everything else, but we're not going to reveal the spies, sure or not?
No. Sometimes we don't even know who they are ourselves, to be honest with you. But to be fair, every referee that goes out to a game they've sent us in so much information. We get random calls every Monday and Tuesday after some of the games to tell us to keep an eye on this player, to keep an eye on that player, and I suppose that's how we get our spreadsheets together, and that's how literally these teams are picked. And it's a lot of work. There's a lot of hours of fighting and arguing that goes on.
Oh, there's fighting, all right. There's definitely fighting.
But I think to be fair, I don't know, I think it's a great opportunity. I would have loved back a couple of years ago, for teams of the year to be announced for Club Camogie, because I do think it brings it on a bit, and I do think that it does add that bit of a competitive edge as well. I hope everybody here can appreciate what we're trying to do. We're trying to promote the club player, trying to promote Camogie in Kilkenny as well, and we hope that you understand and appreciate what's been done.
Want to thank Real Comfort and all the gang here in O'Loughlin Gaels for hosting us as well this evening. We're still not giving up on the black tie event. I don't care, come hell or high water, within the next year or two we will have a full all-star event, black tie with the full trimmings and everything else. We obviously have a few people to thank. First of all, that is our sponsors of the jerseys. That is the Holborn Hotel, who is sponsoring the junior and the intermediate team of the year, and to Saunders Electrical and to Michael Saunders for the senior sponsorship on that one, and also to Celtic Commemorations, who is going to be, or who did do, the very nice trophies that's here in front of us for the top scorer. And we will be revealing the other ones later on for the Player of the Year. We weren't going to put them on show because the name is printed of the Player of the Year. But we are going to start, first of all, with our junior team. And our technician behind us is going to bring up, hopefully, for the people here and listening or watching at home. So this is the Camán Caint podcast, Junior Team of the Year. And we start off with our goalie. Our three goalie nominees are, first of all, Kellyanne Whelan from Graignamanagh, Emma Byrne from Tullogher Ross Birkin, and Dom Delaney from John Locke's Bennett's Bridge. And Mrs. Farrell, you have the honour of announcing the very first Camán Caint Team of the Year player for 2023 on our junior team, and it goes to which of the goalies?
Our goalkeeper is Kellyanne Whelan from
Is the boss here? Is Mrs. A there? Where is she? Is she down in the corner? Mrs. Elward, come up here to me like a good woman and we'll get you to do a little bit of work for us. We will leave you partake in refreshment afterwards, like us all are going to do. So this is the Hoban Hotel sponsored jerseys. Anya is there. Anya's going to get in the photograph as well with Teresa because you're going to go at the front. Our very nice photographer, Vicky Comerford, I should say, not Vicky Phelan. Vicky Comerford is here. I'm going to get out of the way. The stress of it all, trying to get it all right. Whoops, better not show anyone. Am I all right here, Eddie? I'm not blocking anyone, no? We're good. Right, while the photographs is going on, we are going to continue on with our backs. And there was a lot of people nominated for the backs. But Anya, take us through our backs nominations, please.
Our nominees are Annie Ryan from Tullogher, Ross Birkin, Danielle Kenny from Dixborough, Darcy Bulger from Graignamanagh, Emer Mahon from John Locke's Bennett's Bridge, Ellen Delaney from Graignamanagh, Gemma Dunn from Graignamanagh, Katie Buchel from Tullogher, Lucy Brennan, John Locke's Bennett's Bridge, Meg Ryan, John Locke's Bennett's Bridge, Rachel Hartley, John Locke's Bennett's Bridge, Brina Langton, Roarna Steig, Orla Moore, Dixborough, Kieran Halali.
Did I miss one? No, we're okay. By the way, if I got any crests wrong, you can blame me because I was trying to do this in a rush this afternoon, I can tell you. Right, our very first back. We don't go corner back, full back, anything. We just go 6 backs in total because it's fair, because the positions are so hard to pick for a corner back. So our very first back for the team of the year, 2023 at junior grade, Mr. Maguire, is Darcy Bulger. Anya, while Darcy's getting her photograph taken, Graignamanagh had a very good year, getting to their very first ever adult county final. Unlucky, but they came up again a good John Locke's Bennett's Bridge team. Yeah, certainly a really, really good year for Graignamanagh, and I'm sure, listen, next year they're going to want to go on and, step it up again and probably go that one step further too. I think they can be very, very proud of themselves. I think you're a fairly relatively new club, really, at a level, 5 years, is it, Kellyanne? 5 years, and what an achievement in 5 years getting to a junior county final. It's a great stepping stone, and there's an awful lot of work going on down in Graignamanagh as well, so it's great to see. Our second back, the winner is Ellen Delaney, also from Graignamanagh. The Graignamanagh crew is on song. Any of the girls that came in late, especially our seniors that was training, there's plenty of grub up here because you're probably hungry and tired. So please do help yourselves to it. Right, Mr. Maguire, we'll move it on with back number 3, if that's okay. And our third back goes to Katie Buchel from Tullogher. Mind the cable, good woman. Tullogher Ross Birkin getting to the semi-final this year.
Yeah.
Okay, Ken, back number 4, Mrs. Farrell.
Our next back up is Lucy Brennan from John Locke's Bennett's Bridge.
Actually, no, we didn't plan this, like with Bennett's Bridge and John Locke's together with the green, like the jerseys. This time is green. Yeah.
No, they're nice jerseys this year again. I suppose we have to thank Intersport as well for helping out with the jerseys too. And Martin, you do put a lot of time into designing them too, so fair play to you.
Yeah, well, I have a little bit of help. Right, back number 5.
Up next we have Meg Ryan, John Locke's Bennett's Bridge.
And just actually after noticing all the trophies that's here in front of us, we even have the AIB Leinster Senior Club trophy here, which was missing last year, so it's great to have that with us. Vicky making sure everything is done right. Our last back for 2023 is Rachel Hartley. John Locke's Bennett's Bridge. By the way, I should note, and I hope to God they're not watching either, there is a couple of people that is going to be turning up late. They potentially may be getting an award. So if the names do come out and they're not here, please do not text them. Unless they're watching it, which will ruin the surprise altogether, we would just ask people not to text and we will do the presentation when they come. Anya, our midfield selection for 2023. Our first nominee is
Ciara Mullally Tullaher. Laura Phelan from John Locke's Browns Bridge. Rachel Phelan, John Locke's Browns Bridge. And Rebecca Hayden from Graignamanagh.
Okay, so our first midfielder goes to Laura Phelan, John Locke's Browns Bridge. I think it's fair to say that am I right in saying this now? I hope I'm getting the sisters right. That it is Laura, isn't it? Her sidelines have been so... Is it Rachel as the girl with the sidelines? I knew it was one of them, but I could never remember which of them it was. Right, Ken, we'll move on to our second midfielder, and I'm going to let Anya announce the winner.
Our second midfielder is, joining her sister, Rachel Phelan. Rachel's actually currently doing a musical at the moment, so she will be in a while. So we'll hang on.
Hence, don't text. Right, I'm going to say our half forwards, just our forwards nominees then for 2023. Anya, bring us along with the first 8.
So our first nominees are Aisling Prendergast from Graignamanagh, Aisling O'Sullivan, John Locke's Bennett's Bridge, Cliona Murphy, Blacks and Whites, Kate Hennessy from Roarnastig, Leah Cooney, Pilltown, Leah Hanrahan, Tullaher, Linda Murphy, Graignamanagh, Megan Welch, John Locke's Bennett's Bridge, Niamh O'Donoghue, Dixborough.
That's it, keep going with them, go on.
Sarah O'Sullivan, Tullaher, Sinead Lanigan, Graignamanagh, and Vivian Holmes, John Locke's Bennett's Bridge.
You're on a roll. Go on, since you are a forward, give the very first forward for 2023.
God, that's tough if I'm a forward. So our first forward is Aisling O'Sullivan, John Locke's Bennett's Bridge.
Well done, Aisling. Play musical chairs up here now. Right, Kenneth, we'll move it along while the photograph is being taken. There, our second forward goes to Leah Hanrahan from Tullaher. I think actually we said that the junior might have been the easiest one to pick overall, and it turned out that it was nearly the hardest.
Yeah, it was. It was probably one of the most difficult ones to pick from. I think there was such a spread between all the players, and even trying to knuckle it down to the 30, it was crazy to try and even do that.
It certainly was. Right, I was going to say back. Forward number 3, please, madam.
Forward number 3 goes to Linda Murphy, Graignamanagh.
Well done, Linda. Congratulations. Nice to see happy faces coming up. The boss didn't know, by the way, we were going to get her to do a bit of work this evening. We just love throwing it on her. Right, Ken, forward number 4 goes to Niamh O'Donoghue from Dixborough. No shortage of planks with Niamh, I can tell you. Right, forward number 5. Mrs. Farrell.
Goes to Sinead Lanigan from Graiguenamanagh.
Well done, Sinead. And last but by no means least, forward number 6 for our junior team of the year goes to Vivian Holmes from John Locke's Bennett's Bridge. And not only is Vivian one of a talented bunch of junior players that's here as well, winning the county title, but she's also one of our very talented referees as well.
Yeah, great to see Viv doing a couple of intermediate games this year. And to be fair to her, she's been excellent. I was down at one of the intermediate semi-finals and I was actually well impressed. She brought her a whole umpire team and everything with her, so fair play to you, Viv.
Now, while we're talking about referees, because there is going to be a severe shortage of referees next year, we are putting the plea out for people who would like to take up the whistle and might be interested in it. Please do, especially former players. No pressure on anyone at all. But ladies and gentlemen present here, can you please give up for the Camán Caint Junior Team of the Year 2023? No, you're going to have a chat to me now. Oh, God, right. I'll do the chat here on the side. Teresa Elward, chairperson of the Camogie board. It has been a busy year for yourselves. You had convention only last week or the week before. It's gone past me now at this stage. The weeks are flying by. And you're put back in the position again for next year.
Yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment, Martin. Yeah, everybody was just, there was such competition for the job, honestly. But look, yeah, no, delighted to be back in the role again. I mean, being involved with Kilkenny Camogie is a fantastic honour and a privilege, really. As you can see, we have great players in Kilkenny and there's a great love for our games. So look at anything we can do to help promote it, and like ourselves in Camán Caint, to promote Camogie, we're just delighted to be part of it.
But we've been chatting about this in the podcast over the last number of years. Camogie, skill level, determination, commitment, everything has increased at least 5 to 10 fold. Even since, I don't want to be rude in saying this, but even since you were a wee babogue playing all them years ago.
It wasn't that long ago now when I was still playing, Martin. But yeah, no, in fairness to the clubs, there's a huge amount of effort going into coaching in the clubs and training, and there's a lot of courses being put on now. And look, they're very, very grateful to the clubs and the amount of work they put in, because they bring the girls to the level that we need them to be competing at a county. The county are just so lucky to have a great commitment among our clubs and great coaching going on there.
Well, it certainly is, and great to have a good programme of games for all of our players as well. And it's not finished, you have under-16 finals coming up the weekend.
Yeah, busy weekend. We'll be all the under-16 finals on Sunday, following weekend's minor finals, and the under-22 competitions hopefully will get done before the side of Christmas. All going well.
Well, should there be nothing on Stevens' Day we could play him?
Absolutely.
Teresa Elward, chairperson of Kilkenny Camogie, thank you very much, and we'll give you a rest for the time being. Thanking you. Oh, God. Right, that's the junior one down. First row over and done with. What do you fancy for next year? I know there hasn't been a ball poked. We've only finished already with 2023, but is there anybody sticking out for early next year contenders?
Like, you do have to look at Graiguenamanagh, I suppose, but Dixborough could definitely be in with a serious shout there. It'll be an interesting one, be very interesting. I think the junior championship is always the hardest one to think about, because I do think it's so unpredictable, to be honest with you. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
Okay, everybody is waiting patiently, so let's move it on to the intermediate nominees, and we are going to start off with our 3 goalkeepers. And our 3 goalkeepers for the intermediate team of the year. Number 1 is Emma Kavanagh from the Roar na Sieg. Number 2 is Ellen Crowley from Camán Caint. And number 3 is Kate Furlong from O'Loughlin Gaels. Anya Farrell, who is the goalkeeper intermediate 2023 on our team of the year?
Our intermediate goalkeeper is Emma Kavanagh from Rower-na-Steag.
Actually, Chap is here, so I'm actually going to ask Chap to come up and do the presentations for me for this one, if he doesn't mind. Well done, Em. As everyone can see, Emma is sporting a little bit of an injury at the minute, picked up in the Leinster Championship. Anya, we can't not but shout about the Rower-na-Steag and their Leinster journey as well. Unlucky. The extra time probably caught up with them 2 weeks in a row, county final. But O'Moores were a very good team. We saw that in the Leinster final as well, pushing the Fianna all the way. But still a good run for the Roar.
Yeah, a really, really good run for Rower-na-Steag. I think they can be very proud of their achievements that they've done this year. Yeah, I think the extra time probably just caught them. I suppose the ground is getting a little bit heavier then as well. And, you know, they put in a really, really good display. I think throughout the whole campaign this year, they definitely were probably the standout team in it. And I suppose, you know, they had the heartbreak from last year, but certainly they had a really, really good run in Leinster. Unfortunately, it didn't probably go as planned, but again, a really outstanding year.
Right, take us on for our nominees for backs.
Our intermediate back nominees are Abby Murphy St. Clair's, Anya Galvin from Rower-na-Steag, Anya Gannon from Rower-na-Steag, Carmel Marr St. Lactans Freshford, Chloe Mullally from Glenmore, Danielle Quigley from O'Loughlin Gaels, Ellen Murphy from Rower-na-Steag, Emily Crowley from Camán Caint, Marianne Walsh from Camán Caint, Nessa Galway O'Loughlin Gaels, Niamh Leahy Emerald St. Anne's, Saoirse Burke Emerald St. Anne's, Sarah Crowley Camán Caint, Chanel Mullen Ballyhale Shamrocks, Cueva Hickey St. Lactans Freshford, and Emily Carroll Carrickshock.
Go on, you're on a roll. Give us our first back for our Team of the Year 2023.
Our first back goes to Anya Galvin, Rower-na-Steag.
Congratulations, Anya. She's making her way up. Interesting year for themselves now, going up senior next year.
Yeah, and I think senior teams are going to fear them, to be honest with you, because I suppose it's that pretense coming up from intermediate into senior that you don't have anything to lose and you just have to give it your all. And I think that's where a lot of senior teams can be caught. I think is, you know, not really fully respecting the opposition, you know, that does come up. So it'll be a very interesting year. They're a very young team, very fit, well structured. So it'll be very interesting to see how they get on. Yeah.
Well, it certainly will. Right, bring us on to our second award winner. Go ahead.
Our second winner goes to Anya Gannon, Rower-na-Steag.
Two out of two for the Roar so far. I have to say that Anya's last-ditch freeze in a couple of those matches, I mean, even the one down in Graignamanagh in the club quarter-final it was, I mean, to tie that and bring that to extra time, the pressure on that free was just unbelievable.
Yeah, huge. And I think, you know, we're certainly seeing nowadays that, you know, long range distant free takers are becoming pivotal in Camogie, and I think it's showing the strength that our Camogie players are certainly going. So yeah, some great free taking there by Anya throughout the year. Right,
our trio of backs, keep
our
going.
Next back goes to Chloe Mullally from Glenmore.
Chloe won't mind me saying this. I suppose disappointing year for Glenmore last year. We were a little bit worried about them, whether they might be in relegation trouble this year or not, but they certainly pulled things around. They have a new manager in place down there as well. Things went, they went all right from this year.
Yeah, it certainly did, and I think it just goes to show if you put in the work from the start of the year, certainly dividends may pay, and it certainly has turned around from Dunmore. Yep.
Right, back number 4 goes to Emily Crowley from Camán Caint.
Emily is actually not here this evening. If there's anybody else from Camán Caint that would like to come up and take her jersey, or if you want to leave it till later on, that's fine. We can pass it on to somebody else. That's okay.
Anyone want to take Emily's jersey? No? Okay, we'll go on then, Ken, please, to player number 6. And that award, 5. You're dead right. I can't count. 5. It's Nessa Galway from O'Loughlin Gaels. Nessa's surely going to be making the trip, I would say, to Crow Park tomorrow. Well, now, chap, get it right first time. And Ken, our final back for 2023 goes to Sarah Crowley from Camán Caint.
Sarah, unfortunately, cannot be here again this evening, so we'll hold on to that for her too. So we'll move along there now and get on to our midfielders.
Yes, boss. See how bossy she is. Right, our midfield nominees for 2023, Ken, is Aisling Kelly from the Roarness League, Eva Dunn from Danesfort, Laura Green from O'Loughlin Gaels, and Muireann Gannon from Camán Caint. Mrs. Farrell, who is midfielder number 1?
Our first midfielder goes to Aisling Kelly from Roarness League, and Aisling's sister Grania is actually here this evening to accept the award on her behalf. Aisling, captain of the Roarness League team as well.
In fairness, had another outstanding year as well.
Yeah, really did.
And this in lies where we had the row. But anyway, our pick eventually, after a long period of time, for midfielder number 2 went to Laura Green from O'Loughlin Gaels. It was even so tough to pick 4 nominees for this category in midfield at junior level. Some outstanding candidates that wasn't even nominated, unfortunately, but we could only whittle it down. And while Laura's getting her photograph taken, Ken, we are going to move on to the nominees for the forwards. And they are Afton Grace from St. Clair's, On Your Own, Carrickshock, Cuiva Kerr-Murta from the Roarness League, Christine Ling from the Roarness League, Claire Phelan, Liz Downey, Crea Langton, the Roarness League, Deirdre Welch from Camán Caint, Julianne Malone from Mullinavat, Kiva Fenley from Ballyhale Shamrocks, Laura Murphy from O'Loughlin Gaels, Louise Hickey from Emerald St. Anne's, Lydia Fitzpatrick from St. Lactons, Niamh Crowley from Camán Caint, and Olivia Mahoney from Danesfort. I don't think we have another one, Ken, have we? We do, actually. Deirdre Phelan from Danesfort. Anya, please announce our forwards for 2023.
Our first winner up is Cuiva Kerr-Murta, Roarness League. Our next winner is, we'll keep this motoring along there and we'll be fine.
Jesus, Ken, she's really bothered.
Crea Langton from Roarness League.
Well done, Crea.
Next up.
Jesus, she really isn't hanging around, is she?
Next up, we have Deirdre Phelan, Danesfort.
Go on, you're on a roll. Keep it going now.
Next up, we have Deirdre Walsh Moonkine, who is not available here this evening. And then our fifth forward is Lydia Fitzpatrick, St. Lactans, Freshford. And last, but by no means least, as you do say, Martin,
I says a lot of things on you.
Niamh Crowley Moonkine. And Niamh also was meant to be here, but is not here this evening. So there is our intermediate Camán Caint team of the year for 2023.
Well done, girls. Let's hear it once more for them all. Now, I put the question to you about John Locke's Bennett's Bridge and who might win the junior championship after they won it. The intermediate is a very tough competition. The Rona Seek are going senior, and as you said, nobody's going to fear them. The teams is in intermediate for 2024. Who do you see coming close to winning the county final, or indeed winning the county final next year?
I think it's going to be I think O'Loughlin Gaels are going to have a really good shout next year. I think Moonkine will obviously have a really, really good shout too. Don't be surprised if you see St. Lactans Freshford popping up there as well. You know, it'll be an intriguing intermediate championship. It always is. It is a really, really good championship.
It will, because there's a lot of minor teams that's coming up now that is
Yeah.
now going to be eligible to play adults, and they're a year older than 16, 17. So it's going to be
like
interesting.
Glenmore have some really, really good under 16 and minor camogie teams coming up along. So they're getting a year stronger. So they'll be moving on to their intermediate squad as well. So yeah, it'll be a really, really good year for them too.
Danesfort winning the minor as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So some really, really good players on the way up. Yeah.
Mr. Clear. Oh, we didn't get a presentation, right? Vicky's getting another photograph before we grab him. Now, stay put there for a second. Our new senior manager. We've chatted before several times. You were with Carlow last year. You had a good run with them, winning the league. Opportunity came up to be within your own county. And as you said to me before, you can't turn your nose away to an opportunity like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely delighted to be involved for next year, Martin. It's a huge honour, and there's a huge amount of talent in the county, and it's evidence here this evening. And yeah, really looking forward to the year ahead.
You've already got down to business because you were training there this evening as well. I suppose you're kind of in the early stages of getting to know players. You were at the matches, so you've seen some of the players in action for their clubs as well. But obviously, you have your style that you want to employ on the team as well. Brian has done so well with it, and we've talked about this before. Derek Ling being compared to Brian Cody when he comes in. Some people are going to compare yourself to Brian Dowling when you come in. It's often hard, but no better bucal like yourself to ignore all that kind of stuff and just get on with the job at hand.
Yeah, I suppose this time of year it's just about putting your head down and working hard, and we've a really good group of girls together on the senior training panel at the moment, as is on the intermediate training panel. So this time of year it's all about strength and condition, just getting a bit of work in. So look, we'll just keep the head down over the next couple of weeks, get through Christmas, and then drive on into next year.
I suppose you were lucky enough as well, not too many retirements. So the panel from last year is pretty much near enough the same as well, with your additions, obviously, that you're going to bring in as well. So you have a very good footing to start off with.
Yeah, there's a really strong panel there, and there's a really lot of talent out there that haven't been involved over the last number of years. So look, Kilkenny is always going to be competitive. Huge work has been done in clubs, north, south, city and centre and everywhere. So there's so much talent there, and it's just about bringing that talent through consistently. And as I said to you, look, this time of year it's just about head down and working hard and getting ready for next year.
Come here to me now. The league is fast approaching. Like, I mean, you're just going to get over Christmas. You're starting into it. I think it's the 24th of January or something around that weekend that your first match is going to be. It's earlier and earlier. It's starting every year.
Yeah, I think the seniors, I don't think we're out till the 17th of February. I think the intermediates are out the last week. Seniors are out the 17th of February, I think. So, yeah, we'll have a nice we'll have a nice group of work done between now and then. So, look, that's what you want to be. You want to be playing matches. So everything you do this time of year is just in preparation for those games. So we'll have plenty of challenge matches over the next couple of weeks and into January, and hopefully hit the ground running then come February. But it's a long year, and as I said to you, we're just putting the head down, working hard, and looking forward to getting stuck in.
Well, we look forward to your input as well on the podcast next year as well as senior manager. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our senior manager, Peter Chapclear. Perfect, good man. Right, that's the junior and that's the intermediate done and dusted. We're going to move on to the Michael Saunders Senior Team of the Year. And my God, did this cause problems. Right, do you want to start us off with the goalkeepers first of all?
Yep, our goalkeepers nominated this year are Ali Kennedy from Winegap, Aoife Norris from Pilltown, and Kirsty Marr from Dixborough.
Now, before Ken puts up the goalkeeper for 2023, I am going to ask you, has the senior this year been more open than any other year previous in the last 2-3 years?
100%. Yeah, absolutely. I think that we've seen, like, let's be fair, Winegap getting to a county final, you know, that was a huge achievement for them. And I think, you know, it's certainly spurred on a massive confidence in all the other clubs around. Because I suppose, like, the last couple of years we have been looking at the Dixboroughs, the Thomastowns, the Pilltowns kind of, you know, prevailing through. And I suppose that breakthrough from another club, it gives the rest of the clubs at senior level a glimmer of hope that they can actually push through it if they put the amount of work in that Winegap clearly have put in this year. So yeah, it certainly has.
And at the other end of the spectrum, you've mentioned a couple of big names there, Thomastown, Young Ireland's, all in relegation trouble, St. Martin's as well. Unfortunately for Connacht, they were in it and they were put back to intermediate. They lost the relegation final, but they have been hampered by injuries as well, as we've said before in the year. It wasn't an easy season for them. Can they bounce back?
Yeah, I think so. Listen, I think every year, every club is going to have, you know, they're going to have their year of dominance, but there's another club that could really have a year that they're hit with injuries, with girls travelling, or with retirements, with girls just giving up Camogie. And I suppose, like, that's, you know, very, very relevant, especially in Camogie, because unfortunately we're losing an awful lot of players from the ages of maybe 16 up to the age of 21, 22 from Camogie. And, you know, that's a sad thing to see, because that's when players are really, really at their prime. And, you know, for smaller clubs especially, losing 2 or 3 players a year can really determine how far your team is going to go. But I suppose, listen, it's all about regrouping, getting yourself back together. And you know what? A lot can happen in 12 months. It really, really can. And you just have to just work hard just and keep going.
Well, a lot can happen in 20 seconds because you and I are going to have to move or we're going to be kicked out of the way because Vicky wants to get in for the photographs. But our goalkeeper for 2023, the award goes to Kirsty Marr from Dixborough.
Veronica, her mum, will be accepting the award for Kirsty. Obviously, Kirsty is out with Dixborough tomorrow, and this is actually 3 years in a row for Kirsty winning the Senior Goalkeeper of the Year.
God, Richie, I thought you'd have got the nod this year. Huh? It's a terrible 1 year, like, and they wouldn't even give you a chance to get your photo taken. Well done to Kirsty, and as we said, we wish ourselves and the Dixborough team the very best of luck. Well done, Veronica. You want to have a chat to us? Oh, no. You have to go up for your photograph anyway. Go back up there and sit down on the seat like a good woman. Right, our backs. Our first nominee goes to Ciara O'Shea from Dixborough. Ciara Phelan from Dixborough. Oh, and Ken, you can roll him on a bit for me. Ellen Purcell from Barrow Rangers. Emily McCarthy from Pilltown. Gillian Costello from Winegap. Hannah Scott, James Stevens. Kellyanne Doyle from Pilltown. Leisha Nolan from Clara. Shauna Tracy, Barrow Rangers. Quiva Dowling from Dixborough. Catherine Foley from Winegap, Jess Cuddy from Tullerone, Katie Byrne from Dixborough, and Laura Norris from Pilltown. I think we have another one, have we? We have Michaela Keneally from Winegap. Now, for people that don't know, in the studio in KCLR, it is a big enough room. I mean, I'm roughly sitting where Ken is there, Anya's sitting where Eddie is usually on that side, and my producer is sitting on the other side, and I nearly got a belt of a pencil case at one stage over the backs nominations. I was here, could get another one now shortly. This is how tight this actually was, but eventually it did happen, and our first back for 2023, Anya Farrell, is up to you to announce it.
Goes to Ciara Phelan, Dixborough, and Ciara's mum, Noreen, is here to accept the award on her behalf this evening.
Right, Ken, we're moving on to our second back there. Anya, fire away.
Our next back place goes to Emily McCarthy from Pilltown. Emily is unfortunately not here with us this evening, so we'll get that jersey out to her.
Right, moving on to number 3, so.
Next up, we have Shauna Tracy, Barrow Rangers.
Well done, Shauna. This was a tough one because there's a lot of... Shauna played predominantly centre-back this year. There was a lot of good centre-backs that was in for both nominations and for the award itself, so it was really, really tight. Right, back number 4.
Goes to Catherine Foley from Winegap. Catherine, unfortunately, is not here, but Anne, her mum, is here to be presented with the award there this evening.
And I tell you one thing, there's no better woman around than Anne Foley to wave a flag. I tell you, Anne, we could do with you as an umpire. Well done to Catherine, and well done to Ma'am Anne as well for being here to collect the jersey for her. Back number 5 on the team of the year goes to
Katie Byrne, Dixborough. And her mum, Emer, is here for her this evening.
Good woman, Emer.
I'd say Chap is looking at a few of these ones here, wondering how he hasn't got them in for training yet.
Actually, we could enter a Kilkenny Camogie team.
We could, yeah, no problem.
Because I tell you one thing, there's fierce competitors, they are standing in front of me, I'm telling you. Don't you be looking at me like that, Veronica.
And next up, finally, our last place goes to Megan Keneally from Winegap. Sorry, Michaela, and Megan is going to represent her there this evening. Sorry.
I'm wondering where you were going with that one. Oh, girl, Megan. Right, while Megan is getting her snapshot, we're going to move on to our midfielders for 2023. And our nominees, Anya Fahy, are...
Our nominees for midfield go to Ava O'Gorman, Dixborough, Denise Gall, Winegap, Miriam Bambrick, Barrow Rangers, and Nathania Jackson, Winegap.
Mr. Maguire, our first winner, please. It goes to Denise Gall from Winegap.
Denise is not here, but I think Chloe might come up and represent her. Thank you.
Another... What's the word I'm looking for? Divisive? Is that the word I'm looking for? A lot of division for the midfield nominations. But our second award goes to... Miriam Bambrick from Barrow Rangers.
And it's Miriam's mum, Mary, is actually going to accept the award for her.
Good woman, Mary. Right, Ken and Eddie, we are going to move on to our forwards nominations for 2023. We start off with Asha McCarty from Dixborough, Ella O'Reilly from Barra Rangers, Hazel Moore from St. Martin's, Rachel Dowling from Dixborough, Amy Clifford from Dixborough, Aoife Doyle Piltown, Aoife Prendergast for Dixborough, Cleena O'Shea from Windgap, Ellen Gunner from Connaughey, Heather Phelan from Piltown, Jenny Clifford from Dixborough, Katie Power from Piltown, Lauren Ronan from St. Bridget's, Molly Welch from Windgap, Sophie Holden from Piltown, and Steffi Fitzgerald from the Roar in Esteeg.
Young Ireland.
Sorry, not the Roar. Young Ireland's. Jeannie Mac Almighty. I'll have to get the glasses changed.
And our first forward.
Do you know what's wrong with me now? I was actually thinking of something to ask you because as soon as Aoife's name came up, I was just interested. Did anyone here see the documentary that was actually done for The Toughest with AIB with the camera that Aoife was wearing? Yeah, what do you think? Good footage, good for Camogie. Anya, what do you think?
Yeah, I really liked it. But then I do have to wonder now, not so much Aoife, because I know what Aoife is like on a field. I know that she is like always like, you know, encouraging the players around her. She's always egging everyone on. But then there was clips then, I was looking at Aisling Maher and I was like, does she really carry on like that on the field? But again, I don't know her, so I don't know what way she carries on the field. And I wonder sometimes, just having that camera, does it make you act slightly different? But I did think it shows like the hits and, you know, the tackles that are going into Camogie. I think that's just going to promote Camogie in a really, really good way.
Well, I have to say I really, really enjoyed it because it gives an insight to it. I don't like the position of the camera. I would actually rather it the same as the kind of the ref cam that they have for the rugby, that you actually get kind of a more frontal view of people that's able, you know, when you're, because the camera was literally down almost near her belly button. Because they had to put a hole in the jersey, so you're really, if you're in a ruck, you're not seeing exactly what's there. But certainly it was inventive, and I think it's something that will happen maybe in the future, and it might even happen at inter-county level at some stage as well, which would be great to see. But anyway, moving on to our first forward for 2023, Mrs. Farrell is.
First forward goes to Amy Clifford and Aoife Prendergast from Dixborough get the first two nods. Mickey Clifford is meant to be here for Amy, but she's obviously not. So if I get one of the Dixborough girls, you might, Danielle, you're representing Aoife anyway. So.
It seems like that Martin Fuck with a capital D at the end of it then, because we're going to announce two more players for the next one. But anyway.
We'll move on to the next two players
minor little things on you. I'm going to wait. Is Mickey here to collect the other one?
No.
No? Okay, right, you're going to get two more this time coming at you.
Our next two players go to Heather Phelan from Piltown and Jenny Clifford from Dixborough. So we'll hold on to Jenny's, and Heather was meant to be here. She's not, that's okay.
No.
That's grand. We'll move on then to the last two.
Are these coming to you? No, there's just one coming in this one, he's telling me. Right, one this time on you.
Our next one goes to Katie Power from Piltown, who is also not available, so we'll keep that one for her too.
Go on, give us the sixth one. The crest will come up, wait till you see now.
And the last one goes to Molly Welsh from Windgap. And again, Molly is unavailable, so we'll get that to her as well. So congratulations to all our winners.
Oh, well done to our winners. So let's hear it for our 2023 Senior Camán Caint Team of the Year. Right, we have a couple of awards to present now. The first one up is going to be the Junior Top Scorer for Championship 2023. And actually, give me that microphone for a minute, please, because you're going to do the honours for me. And the winner of Top Scorer 2023 is Aisling O'Sullivan. We're just waiting now for a photograph for Aisling. She might even have a word with me. Come over here and have a little chat first of all. What's it like to be top scorer?
Yeah, it's good. I don't know, like, I've never been top scorer before, so.
I love it when I put a microphone in front of someone. They can be the loudest person in the room, and as soon as you put a microphone, they go all shy. Good year for yourselves?
Yeah, it was really good, but we're splitting now this year, so it's not great. But we made so many friends with Bennett's Bridge, but yeah.
Oh, have you let the cat out of the bag there now?
Oh, oops. I don't know. Well, no, I think everyone knew we were splitting, so.
Still, for yourselves though, I mean, you didn't have a team for a long time. You had to combine with one another to do it. A good couple of years. You got to the county final last year. Unlucky, but great to win it this year. Yeah,
no, it was really good. Like, it was a good way to end the year, so yeah, it was really nice.
And a better way to end up top scorer.
Yeah, definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, our top scorer for junior, Aisling O'Sullivan. I would also like to say that the trophies are very, very nice, and these ones have been sponsored by O'Loughlin Physiotherapy. And Elaine, unfortunately, couldn't be here because Elaine is also president of Mockra, and she actually got a trip to Dubai this morning. Lucky her. So that's where she's gone on farming business off over to Dubai, but we sincerely thank her for her sponsorship. Right, our intermediate top scorer has been there or thereabouts last year. I think last year she was joint top scorer, if I'm not mistaken. She has it on her own this year. It's the Roaring Estees, Caoimhe Kermorta. Am I right in saying 13 goals and so many points? Caoimhe, come over here to me for a minute because you knew this was going to happen. I suppose when you have fellas playing hurling and their fathers was going before them, etc., they always make the saying that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Well, I think that applies to yourself and your granddad, because the apple definitely didn't fall far from the tree there, because he was a great player in his time, well able to score goals. You're able to get a good old goal yourself as well.
Yeah, I think my dad always tries to take the credit, but he is no better than him.
Tries to, but I don't think Eddie is going to let him get away with that now, is he?
No.
I have met Eddie at many a match, I can tell you, over the last number of months and weeks, especially when you were playing in the Leinster Championship, and I have never seen a man with a smile so big on his face even before he goes to a match, going in the gate. He certainly is a proud granddad and a hurling man through and through. He loves it.
Yeah, he's always at the matches and he always has good advice for me. He can get a bit excited. But it's always nice to have him there. So.
Well, it's great to have somebody of his stature, I mean, a legend in the game that he was as well, to be able to go and call on and get that bit of advice off of, you know, you can't buy that.
No, it's always good to get that inside information into, he knows everything basically, so yeah.
And what's it like now to be going senior next year?
16 and senior.
Well, fair play to you and well done on a brilliant year. Our intermediate top scorer, Caoimhe Kermorta. Our top scorer for senior level, unfortunately, can't make it this evening, but we have just been talking about her, and she really is a true leader both on and off the field. I have probably, and I can stand corrected on this, and you might agree with me, her free taking is unbelievable. I've said it before, she definitely has ice in her veins, because even the day against St. Martin's, when they were under pressure, they were scoring points. Aoife Prendergast stood up and put balls over the bar from short range, long range, difficult angles, and it was the same in the Leinster final as well.
Yeah, we certainly seen it this year, and I suppose it kind of, it's been happening all year throughout the inter-county campaign, but I definitely think, against St. Martin's, the weather was probably kind of to and fro, and it wasn't, favouring anybody, and she had to take some really, really difficult frees, and she popped every single one of them over that day. But then I suppose in the Leinster final, St. Vincent's came out, they got a goal and a point. And then it was from there that you really seen that Dicksboro took off, and that all started with Rachel Dowling popping the ball over the bar from a puck out from St. Vincent's, and then Aoife piling on the pressure and popping the frees over the bar. And I think that certainly is what brought Dicksboro back into life there, and certainly she has been exemplary on her frees all year, and she just has a really nice style about it, but she's just so accurate. But she works really, really hard. It doesn't just happen. She has worked really, really hard. She has put in hours upon hours of practice in that, and by her, she's fully committed to every cause. And yeah, great to see her and everybody getting the awards that they deserve.
They certainly have, but the reason we are talking about Aoife Prendergast, because she is our senior top scorer of the year for 2023. So I think Danielle might be going to come up and accept the award, or Niamh, one or the other. She's not talking. You have to talk. That's the idea of coming up. Now, Danielle. Right, it is time that we get the other trophies out of the box. Mm-hmm. And Madam Producer, can we please turn them backwards, because we don't want anybody to see them yet. But we are on to the Player of the Year. Is that okay? It's perfect. So, as we always do, we get the people involved with KCLR. So we put up a poll on scoreline.ie and asked people to vote for their Player of the Year. It was unbelievable. We got 4,500 votes. So the voting process worked in one way. So whoever got the top vote on the public vote, as we call it, with the scoreline.ie, then went into a room with all of the rest of the candidates, and they were tied. So the public vote decided who was going to get the award this year, which I think is only fair. So we're going to start with our junior, and the three nominees for the junior, which they're not going to come up on the screen, Ken, just in case we don't want to announce the winner yet, but our nominees were Kellyanne Whelan, Greg Namanna, Rachel Phelan from John Locke's Bennett's Bridge, and Vivian Holmes from John Locke's Bennett's Bridge. And because she's always in behind the scenes and doing everything behind the camera for myself and Anya, especially during the podcast, I'm actually going to ask Lillian to present the trophies for us for the Player of the Year. And Anya Farrell, you are going to get the honour of the envelope, first of all.
I don't actually know where they are.
Who has the envelopes?
Oh, yeah, they're here.
I have the envelopes.
You see, if I was sitting in front of my desk now, I could push a button and I'd have an automatic drum roll. But we don't have one at the minute. So you're going to have to pretend we have a drum roll.
So our Junior Player of the Year, 2 years on the trot, Vivian Holmes.
Well done, Vivian. And again, this came down to the public vote. I think you'll have to put a filter on there, Vicky, for the glasses. Huh? Right, we are going to move on to our intermediate player of the year. Again, this was a very tight affair, but this one didn't go to the public vote. We had enough votes for the winner. And this one, our nominees were Anya. Here, it's there in front of you.
Thank you. Emma Kavanagh at Roar na Stig, Cuiva Carmerta at Roar na Stig, and Crea Langton at Roar na Stig.
You have the envelope opened and all. Right. Our 2023 Intermediate Player of the Year for Camán Caint goes to the champions, Roar na Stig, and it is Crea Langton. No. Come back. You can't win a Player of the Year award. I was already chatting to Vivian during the year, you see, as well. But for yourself, county champions, and now to come away with a Player of the Year award as well. It has been a decent year for yourself in the Roar.
Yeah, it's been class altogether. I think everyone kind of with the team kind of deserves something special, so it's not just me, it's everyone. It's 1 to 30, I think, 34, something like that, so yeah.
I suppose in a way it's been a turbulent year for yourselves. I mean, Cav was taking the team for early training sessions as well. You were in limbo a little bit with managers. Then you had an upheaval of management during the year as well. The boys came in towards the end of the season. You end up being county champions as well. I mean, other teams would just capitulate and fall asunder. It seemed to reinvigorate you a little bit and push you on to do well.
Yeah, I think everyone just kind of pulled together this year a lot and just put everything into it. I mean, we gave up so much last year, but also this year was savage, so we put everything into it from everyone and the team behind us as well.
And you have a good mix of players as well. There's a lot of experience there, but you also have a lot of youthful players that's coming up as well, that's going to be there for the next couple of years, yourself included. So, I mean, you know, can the Roar na Stig be around for a while? Can you do well at senior?
Hopefully, anyway. We're up there and we'll give it a go. Be good crack.
Well, I predict that you're going to do very well at senior level, watching you all year. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2023 Intermediate Player of the Year is Crea Langton. And the biggie, here we go, the Senior Player of the Year. We have 3 nominees. Do you want to announce the nominees?
These are Katie Byrne, Dixborough, Ciara Phelan, Dixborough, and Aoife Prendergast from Dixborough.
This one did go to the public vote. This one was tied. And I can tell you right now that there was only 5 votes in the public vote at the end of it. That's how tight this was. So, I have the envelope. Ken is the only person that knows because he has everything that's there. It's on the screen. I can't see it on the screen. Thanks very much. So the people at home see it before I even pull it out in the envelope. Right. It's obviously a Dixborough person. We know that. But who is it going to be? They are here in the room, technically. The winner is Katie Byrne. I can see the blood drain out of Emer's face straight away the minute it was called. Because Emer knows what's going to happen. She always tries to avoid me, but it doesn't work. She loves talking to us, really. She is smiling, of course she's smiling. Come over here to me, Pet, because we can't do it without it. I mean, you have a big day tomorrow.
Big day, yeah.
Right, herself is involved in the big day tomorrow. So are you, involved in the background as well. But as a mammy, and have a daughter on the team, you hurl every ball with them, Emer, on the sideline. But it must be proud to see herself come out and have a public vote for to be the player of the year for this year.
Absolutely. Delighted for Katie, delighted for Dixbert. I'm so nervous. Sorry. I'm actually nervous for tomorrow more than this. But, but no, absolutely delighted for the whole crew, the whole team, background, management, players. What can I say? There's just some group of girls. From 1 to 37 jerseys I wash. So I know the ins and outs of them all. I'm great. I'm a second mammy to half of them and absolutely thrilled to be where we are tomorrow.
Loughlin Shamrocks won't be an easy task. What's the feeling like in the camp this week?
Very cool. We have a kind of a good vibe. We're just after coming from the meeting to attend here tonight, and the girls are all very well focused. Few bits of homework done on the opposition, but as I said, they're well focused, great group of girls, all raring to go now for tomorrow.
A couple of weeks has passed since the Leinster final. It was a great day for the club. I mean, to come back in the way that you did, to get the 7 points unanswered and to win by the couple of points in the end. I mean, I was watching you down on the sideline and you just went ballistic at the end, but that's how much it means, Emer.
Oh, it's unreal. Just even to go down by the 4 points and then to get 7 points without reply. Like, what a group of forwards. I know the backs had to get the ball up there, but unreal. Jesus, they were absolutely brilliant. They were some games, some performances and some team.
It certainly was, and I'm not a Dixborough man, but I was roaring and shouting, and I got emotional as well at the end of it. But I mean, we just love to see Kilkenny teams especially do well, and when they are in Leinster competitions. But look, I know it's not going to be easy, but we wish you, Katie, well, congratulations to Katie, and the very best of luck to everybody involved in Dixborough in their semi-final tomorrow against Loughlin Shamrocks. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2023 Player of the Year, Mammy collecting it, goes to Katie Byrne. See, Emer, it wasn't that bad. Anya, that brings us to the end of another year, another season. The podcast is not finished yet. Obviously, that's going to keep going while Dixborough keep going in the championship. We will then be starting on season 6 for the inter-county season when that gets going again, and we're going to look forward to it. But when we started off the podcast, and it was mooted going back a couple of years ago, there was an awful lot of publicity about hurling. You know, we had the Clash Act itself with KCLR. There's a lot of hurling podcasts around, etc. But there was very few actually promoting the sport of camogie around. And we took a decision that we were going to try and do that as much as possible. But when we decided we were going to do it, we put emphasis, in particular, on the club player. And actually, the podcast does even better with the downloads, etc., when the club championship is on, because I think half the managers listen to us to see what's going to happen, whether we actually think they're going to win or whether we tell them that they've no hope at all, and then they come out and they do win the week after. But it's been a roller coaster, but it's been a great roller coaster.
Yeah, like definitely I think a lot more people tune into it when it comes to the club championship, and that's absolutely no disrespect to the inter-county scene, because I suppose, listen, we can see that on all social media challenges, but I think it's the one time that, you know, people actually get down and talk and discuss the club games. Yeah, like obviously, you know, there's some years we've said some things and, you know, some people don't like it. Other years we've been accused of, you know, egging a team on and trying to, you know, say that they were going to win and they don't want the pressure on them. But listen, that's part of the parcel of it all. But like, we're really, really enjoying it. We hope everybody that's listening is enjoying it. Like, I think definitely our favourite part is the team of the year. Like, you know, even though it does have its it's arguments that come with it, but certainly I think it's really, really important to do this Team of the Year, to showcase the talent that is in Kilkenny, to showcase the club player, because that's the most important thing. Like, that's starting at the grassroots, that's what's promoting our players, that's what's getting our players going from the club scene onto an inter-county panel. Without their clubs, they wouldn't be on an inter-county team. And, you know, it starts from, like, you know, the mums and the dads and the granddads that are always there supporting them the whole time. And I think that's really, really important. Like, this is, like, yes, it's about the club air, but it's also about the families and their clubs, and that's really, really important for Kilkenny Camogie.
We have to remember, we wouldn't have an inter-county scene without the club.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody starts together, and I will go back to an interview that I done after the Leinster semi-final with Aoife and Jenny out on the pitch. And again, even Jenny and myself, we got emotional after the Leinster final because it meant so much to a club player to win, and it was fantastic. But it always comes back that, like all other teams, Dicksboro are a group of sisters. It's a sisterhood. They're like family. They fight for one another. They're all sisters. It's the same with John Locke's Bennett's Bridge, the Rowan Steag, all the clubs. You start at a Sprague, you go all the way up to adult level. You're playing with the clubs. It's just unbelievable. Like, there's no other feeling. You can't get it from, I don't think, playing any other sport in the world.
No, certainly not. Like, you know, I think when you look at a lot of these girls, like, they've all went to primary school together, secondary school together, they're all hurling in their clubs together, and I think that's really the most important thing about it. I think, you know, it is really important that we kind of remember, you know, what our volunteers are also doing in our clubs, like our coaches and our mentors and our selectors, and, you know, the people that are washing the jerseys, you know, putting on the kettle for the tea when the girls come in from a training. I think it's really important to realise that there's so many people behind the efforts that go into every club, you know, not just the likes of Dicksboro, John Locke's, Bennett's Bridge, Rowan Steag, but, you know, for the likes of the Wine Gaps, the Tullarones, the Emerald St. Anne's, the Gregnamas, every club, Bar Rangers, the whole lot, every club across the county. It's so important to remember everybody that's involved as a whole with every single team this year, because, you know, you might have maybe a panel of 29, 30 players, but it's the 10, 12 players, people that are in the background that, you know, don't get any of the fame or the glory that are there, that are, you know, constantly getting girls going training and doing everything for them. So it is, Camogie is certainly a massive thing in every community, and I think we need to, especially this cohort of players that are in the room right now, it's up to you to promote it in your clubs, drive on your younger players, keep girls playing Camogie, because as we mentioned earlier on, we are losing an awful lot of players, and that's something we don't want to do. So, like, you know, you're the role models, you're the ambassadors in each of your clubs, so I think it's really important that you push each other on and put your younger teams on, even if it's just go down to an under-6 training, throw a ball around, play cups and saucers with them, do something simple. It really, really will help, and it'll keep girls interested going forward as well.
It certainly will. It has been an interesting year. It's been a long year. We look forward to it. We look forward to 2024 already. We look forward to higher things in 2024, and hopefully, as I said, within the next year to 2 years, that this event is going to be blown out of the water, and that we can have a full flowing fledged all-star event, black tie, hotel, you name it, everything, and that is the aim, and we're going to not stop until that is going to happen, to let you get a good night out, and that is the plan. But there's a lot of people to thank. First of all, away to my right hand side, to Ken Maguire and to Eddie Hughes from KCLR, especially to Ken, because while we do all the recording, Ken puts the podcast together every Tuesday evening, and we'd be lost without him as well to get it out there. I would encourage people to download it or hit that little bell that when it goes live that you'll be able to listen into it, because without your listenership we wouldn't be able to do this either, so thank you to them. To our sponsors of the jerseys this evening, to Michael Saunders Electrical and to the Hoban Hotel, and to Hugh, the general manager in particular, thank you so much to them. To Ruth and everyone here in O'Loughlin Gaels for hosting us this evening, a fantastic venue, and so we thank them for that. To the Camán Caint team, who does an awful lot of work in the background. Huh? I'll do that now in a sec. To Lillian, to Anya and Paula. We have other contributors as well during the year, but we thank them. To Elaine O'Loughlin, our sponsors of our trophies. To Vicky Comerford, our photographer. And to a very kind benefactor who anonymously gave a donation that we could actually have a professional photographer here this evening, and that was Vicky, and Vicky does great work, so we thank her sincerely for that as well. And to that very kind donor Thank you so much. To our county board, because without them and the matches going on, we couldn't spout and spew out who's going to win or not win every week or try and get a prediction right. So they do so much work in the background and they deserve a huge amount of credit that they don't always get, to be fair to them. And they often get a hell of a lot of abuse and bad press as well, but they do so much good work and we thank each and every one of them for that. But to everybody who helps out, to yourselves for coming this evening, it's been great. It's been a fantastic year. We have a couple more. Yeah.
Just one thing before we wrap it up, just the very best of luck to yourself in Leinster as the new Leinster chairperson. Great to have a representative from Kilkenny, and we know you'll be flying the flag flying the flag high for Kilkenny in the coming year.
Thank you very much. That is it. Oh, one other thing. Best of luck to Chap when he starts as well in January. We are on the borough. Best of luck to Dixborough and O'Loughlin Gaels tomorrow. No doubt we'll be there, Veronica, live and exclusive on KCLR from 2 o'clock. Thanks to Hackett's Bar, we will be in Ashbourne bringing it to you live. To everybody here in O'Loughlin Gaels, to all of the helpers behind the scenes, we bid you good night. Thank you so much. Well done to our winners, and we'll see you next year.